Oh my goodness, so much to do, so little time, so much to discuss. Ladies and gentlemen, here on The Game Changer, I am Nate the Effing Great. I'm being joined here, as always, by the DC Comics to my Marvel Comics. This is indeed Victory Bell. Very proud of her, representation. How's it going today?
It's good, It's a beautiful day. I'm excited.
Well, gee, I wonder why. Well, we did talk about this after the show went off the air. And this was something that we decided we needed to discuss before it got too cold and too long, because I think we mentioned that if we did 2 months, then it would be too late. So we're just going to get this right out of the way. So about a few weeks ago, the Marvel and DC decided to release a few movies that are going to be coming out as early as this year and as late as 2022. So, jeez Louise, there's a lot to discuss here. We're going to talk about some of the movies that are going to be coming out, some of the plans that they seem to be going through, and our thoughts on some of the movies in general. But let's just not waste any time. Let's just get right into it. We're going to start off with DC because I feel like we favor Marvel just a little bit more. Maybe that's just because I'm the host and I get to say what goes, and maybe I'm just deciding to give DC a little bit of a push here to be like, hey, let's just give them a little bit of a plug here. Why not? So far confirmed. These are things that are mainly confirmed from a couple of spots, websites known as the Collider.com, Newsarama.com, and also IMDb.com. Seems like the only ones that are confirmed for DC so far are Aquaman, that's coming out this year, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which is coming out during the summertime, Wonder Woman 2, which actually dropped a huge bombshell earlier this week. We'll talk about that in a bit. Coming out next year. And really the working one that's in works right now, mainly because they're trying to find a date, is the Flash's movie Flashpoint. But there's still a lot of other movies that are definitely rumored there. We'll talk about that in just a bit. Yeah, so far this year, it seems like DC's definitely taking it a little easy on it. You know, they're bringing in Teen Titans to the big screen, which will be great. They're bringing in Aquaman, giving him a story, which is good. A lot of people seem to love Jason Momoa in Justice League, so I think it's going to be really interesting to see how he does on his standalone movie.
Yeah, I have a ton more that are just talked about. I know they haven't been announced to date, but on the website Digital Spy, they just have a lot of stuff that has been talked about throughout the comic conventions of last year and early this year. I know we're kind of going in and out, so I don't know if I heard all of the movies that you said, so if I repeat, please forgive me. But did you talk about the Aquaman movie?
Yep, Aquaman coming out in December.
Oh, good. The Shazam movie?
Actually, that one I missed, actually. I think that I was talking more ones that were, fully confirmed, but I think that they're definitely...
This one actually was confirmed.
Really?
In 2019, Shazam should be... They give a release date. I don't know if that means anything. It says it's coming out next April.
Okay.
2019.
Okay, well, that's cool.
I think they say that they don't have a star yet, which is always kind of like, how can you not have a star yet? So I don't know if it's super true, but of course they were talking about Shazam. I wouldn't mind seeing a Shazam movie.
Looks like we froze just a little bit there. Just bear with us. Skype seems to... Oh, there we go. Now we're back.
I always like when Shazam is involved in the Justice League. I think that he always makes an interesting take because he is usually a child who turns into a massive superhero. So it always adds a little bit of, innocence along with a different perspective, which is always fun. I know you already said Cyborg and that. They're also talking about the Green Lantern Corps. Did you know that?
I did actually know about that one. I know that's another one that's in the process, and that's going to be very interesting. My only concern is that they do not do what they did with the original Green Lantern with Ryan Reynolds and make everything CGI. That's
I think they're going to skip. I'm not for sure what they're going to do, but if they were smart, they would kind of skip over Hal Jordan and go right to Jon Stewart. For people who don't know the names, Hal Jordan is the original white guy, the pilot, and Jon Stewart is the black guy from the Justice League cartoons.
Okay.
So, in the simplest terms I can tell people, and I think it would be kind of cool to see Jon Stewart instead of Hal Jordan, since they messed up Hal Jordan. I love Hal Jordan. I think he's a great Green Lantern too, but when you mess up that bad, I feel like just jump over him.
Fair enough.
But it says that's supposed to be out in 2020.
2020, man, that's actually going to be really good.
Did you say about the Batman?
No, the Batman and I know that Batgirl are still in the work in progress right now.
They're talking about all that. They're talking about, which I don't know how, but they're talking about a Suicide Squad 2.
Good Lord.
They might do a Man of Steel 2, which who knows how good that, I don't know what that would be. Black Adam, Nightwing, Gotham City Sirens, which is kind of cool. That would be really cool for me. With Harley Quinn, Catwoman, and Poison Ivy all teaming up. Oh, and it looks like they don't have everybody announced, but they said Margot Robbie might be in it. So if they keep it constant, I like when they keep it constant. They also have a Deathstroke movie in the talks, which Will Smith's, or not that's Deadshot. Deathstroke is the Teen Titans bad guy.
Right.
Which we kind of got introduced to him at the end of Justice League. Justice League Dark, possible Harley Quinn and Joker movie, and a possible Harley Quinn movie. So they have a lot in the works or talking about. It would be great to know when these are coming out, and I don't think anyone would complain for any of those movies except maybe Suicide Squad 2, because I just don't know. I don't know where they can go from there, because it was really quite a disappointing movie. Yeah,
and I think that a lot of these heroes and villains that we can mention definitely do need that either reboots or definitely need a retry, because for so long everybody was talking about how Michelle Pfeiffer, she's the original Catwoman, she's amazing, she's done this. It's finally time to try to find somebody who's going to either match the same level that she brought, or go above and beyond, and that's not going to be easy. I mean, so far they've done one with Halle Berry, and then they did one with Anne Hathaway in Dark Knight Rises. I think Catwoman is long overdue for a reboot, and I've said this before, Poison Ivy, again, needs something good. We need something that'll definitely work, and especially if they're going to be introducing the Gotham City Sirens, that's one of those things that's going to really pop out. And like we said, Margot Robbie's going to be in a lot of these. In theory, fingers crossed, and honestly, I'm totally okay with her playing Harley Quinn. I think she does an amazing job at it. Maybe try to bring in some of the classic stuff that made Harley Quinn who she was. Don't just try to completely change her. I think that's one of the things that will definitely hurt the DC fan base a lot, is that if you completely change the character, yeah, people are going to resent that. And I just think that when we go into the Harley Quinn Joker story, they already basically just flat out told what it was during Suicide Squad. But I guess they want to go deeper in depth and actually make it into a movie. I am kind of against it, because we already had it explained to us in Suicide Squad. Why do we need a deeper deal? Because unless they actually go into the comic book direction where, the Jared Leto Joker is actually being a manipulative monster, that's the only way I'll accept it. But if he's going to go into the deal where it's it's lovey-dovey, it's a new generation, it's dude, no. I actually want to be scared of the Joker. I actually want to hate the Joker. Don't do this.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting how they format these movies, like when they will be released, because depending on what movie, I don't think it's necessary to have a Joker and Harley Quinn movie. I just don't see that being necessary at all. Especially if they have the Gotham City Sirens come out, like that instantly could open up the door to have Harley Quinn do this big jump and growth where she leaves the Joker and then she gets with Poison Ivy. Like, they have a whole relationship.
Right.
So it would be very interesting, and I think in the times that we're having where, I mean, you know, like Disney's talking about having one of their princesses have a girl crush now, you know? So, like, I think DC could really amp up their game by just jumping ahead and, like, showing the fallout of Harley Quinn and the Joker, being that it's a very manipulative, dangerous relationship, and her moving on, you know, being a siren, and just growing into loving herself how Poison Ivy loves herself, and then that's how they get into their little thing. So it would be interesting if they have the Joker Harley Quinn movie after the Gotham City Sirens movie. I think they missed an opportunity, and it's just it will be a little sad.
Yeah, well, maybe if they did the Joker and Harley Quinn movie before they did Sirens, and then they can actually do like a slight transition into that. Maybe give Harley Quinn more reason to want to, you know, maybe explore other options. But yeah, if they do you know the way that you suggested, have Sirens first, then this love story. I think that's just going to bring the whole thing down. I think it's just going to really hurt Gotham City Sirens more than help them.
Yeah, I just think in general it doesn't seem necessary to me.
Well, I mean,
even have that movie.
we'll see if they listen to the internet. Probably not, but I think there'll be some people that'll be like, well, maybe this is not the best idea. It's like, no. They loved this love story in Suicide Squad. It's like, no, he didn't. Not really. It was really weird. But one of the ones that you definitely mentioned was Cyborg. We did get a glimpse of him and what he's capable of in Justice League. I think, you know, him having a solo movie would be really cool too, because then you get a little more backstory to, you know, what happened to him, why he became a machine, and, you know, just him continuing to deal with that constant struggle of, you know, basically still trying to be human and not be a machine. I just think it's really one of those movies that will really stand out, because honestly, we mentioned it before, with Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg, they all knocked it out of the park. It was one of those things where it's like, well, this definitely exceeded a bit of expectations. I mean, there's Ben Affleck as Batman. Of course, he does what he does. We have Wonder Woman, who did awesome. Superman, he's back. Why this soon? That's just my opinion. Why this soon?
What do you mean, why this soon?
I would have figured that they would have at least, you know, kept him up for maybe one more movie or maybe two. But I just felt like it was one of those things where it felt rushed, really. I understand, you know, Justice League, you know, they have to have their key components, and obviously Superman is being one of them. I just feel like, you know, it's still a bit too soon to bring him back after he just died in Batman vs. Superman, which happened not even like 2 years ago from Justice League. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I just think that they could have prolonged it just a little bit more instead of...
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but that's just not how Superman dies. Like, it's just not. Like, he doesn't die for long, ever. Like, I think in the comics, he might have died for, like, a few months. I feel like they gave Superman over to, like, 4 different people, and it wasn't working, so they're like, okay, now Superman's back, yay! Because, you know, everybody flips when Superman dies, but obviously everybody who knows comics knew that, Superman didn't die. Don't worry, everyone. He's fine. I thought it was kind of dumb at the end, like when they're like showing the rocks move on his corpse. Like that was, when you rethink about it, you're like, what was that? What was that about? Was he all of a sudden alive? No, he wasn't. They had to go and revive him. He wasn't dead. But I think it's hilarious that it's like, how can we make this even more dramatic, guys? Let's have the Rock move. Just like, oh my gosh, he's still alive. He's being buried alive. That's the best idea ever. Like, no, you idiot. Like, that was dumb. Like, I think everybody kind of forgives that or, like, doesn't remember that part at the end of Batman vs. Superman. But, like, when I think about it, I'm like, does anyone remember that? Like, the Rock on his coffin were moving? Like, oh my god, he's being buried alive. This is a big mistake. And then, like, speed up to, like, Justice League. Oh, he dead. Oh, he's super dead. Look at how white he is. Oh, he's super dead. And then it's like, oh, we have to do this giant, big electricity shock in the mutant tank and blah, 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 blah. Like, how did those fucking rocks move? Sorry, excuse my language. It's just like, how did this move? Yeah. For no reason. That is why I dislike Snyder's work. Like, tries to be over dramatic and tries to make a point. Like, I know what he's like. I don't want people to think Superman's super dead. So I'm going to have these rocks move so that the fans know he's not going to be dead for long. And it's like, no, what you did is you just made it really stupid. So thank you for that. But yeah, I think it was fine because they had Wonder Woman, they had Suicide Squad, they had a few movies that showed, like, he's dead. So, in time-wise, the timeline, he was probably dead for a good year and a half, timeline-wise. Or maybe even longer, because, I mean, they had all that chance to build a few things back up after Batman vs. Superman, so I think he had to come back in Justice League, but I can see your frustrations, but they did have a few movies where, like, Suicide Squad was kind of the big one, where they was like, well, Superman is dead. Now it's time for us to bring these villains in. Like, what? Again,
okay,
they didn't make a sense of that either. Like, who? Superman is really dead? Let's go recruit all these really deadly people to try to help us.
With what exactly?
But Suicide Squad does have, like, a call to action, but the call to action they used, and then I don't know, Amanda Walker was really, like, I love Olivia Davis, or wasn't that Olivia Davis, or Viola Davis, sorry, Viola Davis.
Okay.
But boo, that was a weird version of her.
Well, I was going to make the joke with the whole rocks thing with Superman. I was about to say, well, I guess they just watched the movie Carrie, and they figured, oh man, that actually stood out at the end of the movie when her tombstone's basically got like cracks in it or something like that, because it's like, oh, maybe she's dead, but maybe she's not dead. Let's do that, something like that, but something completely stupid. Let's just do that. It's like, wow, okay. I mean, I'm not trying to say that, the ending of Carrie was stupid. Not at all. I think Carrie was an instant classic. I loved it. But yeah, I understand your frustration there. But let's go on from those frustrations to something that might be very interesting to talk about. And that is when it comes to Wonder Woman 2, they've kind of decided on who's going to be the next villain for Wonder Woman to face. And that's going to be Cheetah. And she's going to be played by the actress known as Kristen Wiig. And I think I remember texting you that. I said, how do you feel about this? And
You Facebooked me.
Oh, I Facebooked you, something like that. That's right. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts on Kristen Wiig getting the opportunity to play the role of Cheetah, who we'll definitely talk about right now. So
yeah, sadly, I'm a little disappointed because I wanted to be Cheetah, but. But in general, and this is even like my wants aside, I don't see it. at all. Like, Kristen Wiig is, like, tiny. Like, I don't know. I feel like she weighs, like, maybe 110 pounds. Like, she's a tiny little girl. Like, and she's this little blonde-haired, blue-eyed comedian. She's really funny. I like her a lot. But I do not see power and aggression and crazy aggression when I think of her. I would hope that she auditioned really well, because I would think that she could probably play any role that she wanted. Comedians have to go to, different places, to really work on their comedy, like, psychologically, like, it's pretty messed up. So, like, she could probably be a villain. Comedians usually are really good at being villains in that sense, but I would just think the ex-Amazonian crazed cheetah who's part of, like, this, like, kill all the Amazons cult, I would kind of think she would be, one, more ethnic, two, bigger, much bigger, like, almost the size of Wonder Woman, or maybe even a little bit bigger than Wonder Woman. And then three, I guess, I don't know, a different actress, but I would think, like, I enjoy Kristen Wiig, like, there's nothing wrong with her, I just don't think she's right for the role. Like, I'm trying to, like, think about somebody that would just pop in my head who would be right for the role of Cheetah. I'm just going to throw this person out of there because she makes a little bit more sense. Obviously, she's tiny too. But Gamora's Zoe, what's her name? Gamora's actress from Avatar 2.
Gamora's actress.
It's not Zoe Deschanel. I know it's not, but like.
You're talking like Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy, the actress name.
Yeah, what's her name?
Zoe. Oh man, yeah, I remember seeing her name on there, and I'm just like, Zoe Deschanel. Nope, not Zoe Deschanel. Definitely not Zoe Deschanel.
Zaldana. Zoe Zaldana.
Oh, Zaldana. Okay.
All right. She would be what I would kind of think, or like, and I know this sounds crazy, but like the freaking intense general, I forget her name too, from Black Panther, like the bald, intense, like.
Let's see, the intense, like.
I don't know. I won't know her actress. I won't know her name at all.
Oh, I know who you're referring to. Okay.
Like, her body type reminds me of what I would think Cheetah, and like, they are more ethnic, and like, I just feel like Cheetah is like an outcasted, crazy Amazon who did like experiment, like she changed her body in order to make herself more powerful and crazy, and she would have these like characteristics that are like super muscular, super crazy, and I don't see Kristen Wiig being able to do that. Like, the personalities of those two actresses, their power, just how they are in general. You're like, they look like badasses when they're out there, and I want Cheetah to be a badass. And when I see Kristen Wiig, and this might just be because of all of her movies, but I see like, Goofy, come here, you little goofball. Like, that's what I see. So I don't see her being a good fit for Gal Gadot. I don't see that being. I think it's going to be more funny. I feel like it's just going to be funny.
Oh man, you just have that drilled in your head on the exact pronunciation of how to say Gal Gadot's name.
Trying. I probably still say it wrong, but I was trying. I don't like saying people's names wrong. But.
I've kind of noticed that ever since we saw it during the Oscars, you were just trying so hard to just get that name right. It's just like Gal Gadot, Gal Gadot. It's like
Gal Gadot.
It's like they don't. They
said it so Gadot.
Right.
And I was like, oh, Gal Gadot is not good enough. It's Gadot.
Right. And before we even watched started the episode, I remember I actually watched a kind of like an archive of what Cheetah basically was, And I definitely do see, your dispute with having Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. She definitely seems like she would be definitely more muscular, more taller, a little more cunning. But you also have to remember that Cheetah was they actually had her like 4 different incarnations, maybe 5 different ones. 4 being women and 1 being a man. And I am actually thankful that they did not go down the dude route, that they actually went down with a woman. That's one positive thing I can say about that. 2, honestly, I don't want to judge just yet, because I think a lot of people would have probably still thought maybe before Wonder Woman came out, like, oh, Gal Gadot's going to be, Diana Prince, she's going to be Wonder Woman. Oh, that's kind of a interesting pick, but okay, wasn't she like in Fast and the Furious or something like that, or something? Like, was she just like in the background? So I'm kind of basing it on, can't really judge it too fast. I understand, like I said, your argument on it. I think that if Kristen does indeed, do an amazing job, it's going to be one of those moments where it's like, well, you see a different side of an actor or actress, because there's so many times and so many examples of people when you watch them in one movie and you're just thinking like, oh, they're like this, they're either funny or goofy or they're serious, and then they go into a completely different element where they have to be either serious or funny. It's like, whoa, didn't realize that they could actually do that. I think that one of the best examples of it would be what's his name? Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger is probably a really good example of everybody being surprised. He was one of the stars of Brokeback Mountain, and then he comes in as the Joker and performed one of the best Joker impressions of all time, to where a lot of people are just like, they remember that more than, his past performances. Tim Curry is another example. A lot of people see him as the Flame Man, but he can actually put on a really good, serious role when he needs to be. And it's really just absolutely fascinating just seeing that. But yeah, point being, I'll give her, at least a shot. If she screws up, then I'll definitely be saying, yeah, all right, I guess I can see the problem. And I'll definitely be hearing about it, because the day after, because when we see it and we do the review on it, it'd be like, I did say that she was a wrong fit. It's like, yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I don't know. Like, obviously, this is a prediction, and how do you feel about it, like, the casting? And it's like, it seems really weird. And I don't think anyone, I think I was like, oh, Gal Gadot seems small, but I definitely did see Wonder Woman in her. Like, she looks like a Wonder Woman. Like, right. She has the darker hair. She has kind of the, like, could be from the, like, I don't know, Middle Eastern, I don't know exactly where Themyscira would be, but it's like, in that, like, kind of, like, Caribbean area under Europe. And, like, that was like, oh, she's from Israel, that works. Like, she has the look, and her characters in the past are badass bitches. Like, they badass. And I was like, okay, like, I hope she gets bigger. That's my biggest thing with her, is I hope that they make her, like, bulk up a little bit. They didn't really. But I think she was trying, and maybe she's just really skinny. But she also has a background in, like CIA work for Israel. She was in, like, the Corps. Like, she was an army soldier. So, like, for me, I was like, I can see where they're going.
Right. With
this casting. And this casting, I don't see where they're going. So that's always... I don't think there has been another superhero casted like that where you're like, what? Or supervillain, obviously. Cheetah's one of the biggest, Cheetah's going to be in multiple movies. Like, she's not going to just be in Wonder Woman 2. She's going to be in the Justice League 2. She's going to be possibly in a third movie, too. Like, that's what they talked about. Freaking Luthor came out and he's like, let's get all the villains together for the Injustice League. And Cheetah's going to be in that. It's obvious. Black Manta's going to be in that. All of the big supervillains that are going to be introduced in these spin-off movies are going to be in that movie. So it's like, I'm just wondering where they're going with it. And again, I didn't say like, oh, like screw her, how dare she? Like, no, like I would like to see what she brings to the table. I just don't see the vision at all. And when I don't see a vision, that always like I'm like, ugh. Because she possibly just was like, I want to be in the movie, and then a director, oh my gosh, it's Kristen Wiig, yes. Because if I was Kristen Wiig and I loved Wonder Woman, like, please put me in the movie. I would love to be in the movie. I love Wonder Woman. Please put me in. And they're like, sure, the biggest role we have is Cheetah. You got it. And you're like, whoa, wow, that's not me at all, but crazy. It's like, oh, sorry, you could be like, oh, we have this, the biggest part is, oh, a black girl, you got this. I'm like, what? Like, no. Like, well, I don't fit the parameters of the character. Like, what? Okay, cool. No, I don't know. But I would think that maybe she confronted the director and was like, I would love to be a part of this movie. And then they're like, sweet, let's put you as Cheetah. It would be my now I want to see like this like super like spin-off of like Kristen Wiig being like an Amazon warrior just as her like Saturday Night Live characters, like the one of the little sisters who is, and I'm Janie, and she's like goofy and like trying to fight with everybody, and she just can't do it.
and then just as like a preview of like Wonder Woman 2, Gal Gadot makes an appearance, and it's just like, oh, we're getting this early, and Kristen Wiig just heads for the hills. It's like, well, so much for that preview.
Like, if they want to promote this, like, give me YouTube tiny.
Oh, man. Wait.
Are we back?
Yeah, I think we're back.
Are we back?
Yep.
Okay, so if they want to promote this by giving me tiny skits of Gal Gadot and Kristen Wiig in Themyscira working out together or something and getting big, I will watch it. Like, obviously I'm going to watch it, period. But, like, that would be freaking hilarious. I would love that. Like Kristen was just trying to, like, oh, yeah, getting big, and stuff like that. And, like, Gail's like, oh, my gosh, this girl is just ridiculous.
So, before we close out the discussion for DC movies, definitely seems like we have some questionable movies that they are doing, questionable roles, but at the same time, I think that there's still a good chance that they're probably going to do very well with a lot of these movies. I think Aquaman's going to be a pretty good movie to close out the end of the year, in all honesty. I think Momoa is going to really take that role and just knock it out of the park. And I think that him and his own solo movie, so many people are just going to be like, oh my gosh, we get to see Aquaman, he gets his own movie, it's Jason Momoa. And all the fangirls are going to be like, ah! And I'm just going to be like, calm down. He's probably just going to be another flavor like Edward and Jacob. And they'll be like, who? Exactly. Okay, let me just clarify. I'm not comparing Aquaman to Twilight. That is completely out of context. I'm just saying that it's just one of those things where it's just like, I see him being relevant for so long, and then somebody else is going to come by, and it's just like, well, they forgot about him. So, Momoa, it's nothing against you. It's just the nature of the beast when it comes to business and movies. So, sorry, bud. But, anyway, so I think we did a pretty good amount of time on DC. Marvel, on the other hand, they are very, very secretive about what movies they're going to be doing going into the future. And why is that? Well, they got Infinity War coming out. But the big news to come out of that is that Infinity Wars got moved from the May date to end of April because of, you said it was because of spoilers, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, they do not want spoilers to come out and ruin the movie. So, in protection of the movie's outcome and kind of what hackers and what videotapers are going to release, they want to release it early.
Yeah. You guys suck, by the way. Just saying. The only thing that they've really revealed, I think, as far as movies beyond this page of chapter of Infinity War, there's probably going to be a part 2. I think they said it's going to be either next year or the year after. But, yeah, the only ones that they've kind of revealed are going to be coming out are going to be the, Ant-Man and the Wasp, which looks like an excellent movie. Actually, I want to start talking about that because during the trailers, I've definitely noticed that they've really focused on Ant-Man's and Wasp's, character development more, but they never really focused too much on a villain. Could this be one of those movies that we don't really see a villain, but more of just a kind of lesson between the two of them about basically just appreciating teamwork and just really having maybe like a fight amongst the two of them, seeing like, oh, I'm better, something like that? Or do you think there's going to be some kind of villain that's going to be involved with this movie?
I'm almost 100% sure there's going to be a villain. I don't think there's ever a superhero movie that doesn't have somebody that, they're going to team up to overcome their differences that they have to defeat somebody. I heard Michelle Pfeiffer's in this movie. When I think of Michelle Pfeiffer, I think she's probably evil in some way. Like, that's usually what she does. So I would, they're gonna have a villain. I don't know who the villain's gonna be, but yes, they wanted to more show like, oh, look we do have Lost, guys. Don't be mad. There's another female in the Marvel universe. Like, okay.
Well, actually, speaking of that, it's a really good transition because one of the other movies that they revealed was Captain Marvel. And the actress who will be playing the role of Captain Marvel's rumored is to be Brie Larson. And I actually had to look up who Brie Larson was. And the only thing that I could come up with was, it said, oh, love interest for Jonah Hill's character in 21 Jump Street. I'm like, oh, that girl. Oh. Huh. Kind of out of nowhere, but again, I'm not going to judge. I'm going to give it a shot.
Good. She's pretty good at the action roles. I forget what her most recent one is, but I loved her in Room. That was freaking intense. Like, she's an Academy Award winner. So I'm really excited to see her take on. I think she does kind of fit the role for me too. I don't know how what the hair situation is going to be, if they're going to do the really short hair or not, but she's definitely a powerful female. I'm down with that.
Yeah, this could actually be a game changer for Marvel, especially because obviously with Wonder Woman being successful as it is, DC definitely has the, I guess I would definitely say the women's demographic more in the palm of their hands than Marvel does. I think if Captain Marvel does really well, that could actually pit a war. It's like, who's better? Is it going to be, is Captain Marvel better? Is Wonder Woman better? I'm honestly looking forward to this. If it goes very well, I actually do want to hear people say, like, have this debate on which one is better. Because nothing can create dollar signs more than a good, wholesome, healthy rivalry between two ladies. Sorry, I just did like a cheesy smile and thumbs up. But, yeah, the only other movie I think they really promoted was Spider-Man Homecoming 2. And I think that was kind of a given that they were going to be doing that because I did not see them killing off Tom Holland as early as he just began. It's like, well, we just got him. Why would they just kill him off right now? Well, I guess they wanted to get a new Spider-Man. No. Tom Holland's awesome. He makes me just think about, all the positive things and not Andrew Garfield. Oh, God. I'm good. I just blacked out for a minute there, but I'm good. Yeah, I'm hoping, honestly, that this also brings in what happened at the end, where we see Vulture and Gargan, talking to each other. It's like, oh, some boys I want to give Adam. It's like, could this be a sign of Sinister Six? We were going to get that with Amazing Spider-Man 2, but somebody screwed up. So are we getting that with this movie? Yes, please and thank you. I would want that, actually. Please give us Sinister Six. Please and thank you. Please, for all that is high and might, give us this movie. I'm sorry, I'm in a begging mood when it comes to a Sinister Six movie. It's like, I really want to see that. I want to see these guys and just especially when you got Michael Keaton coming back as Vulture. God, that's like a breath of fresh air right there if they announce Sinister Six. But I'm calm. We're good. So yeah, other than that, they've been pretty secretive about other movies. Unless, do you have any other ones that got announced to your knowledge?
Yeah, I got quite a bit of Marvel-based, and when I say Marvel, I'm talking about from Marvel Comics. So, like, obviously they're not always produced by Disney, but Marvel, they know they're part of all the movies. Whether or not they like it, or whether or not, like, they own the characters or not, Marvel's still represented in all of these movies.
Yeah, I think I just remembered.
Like, Deadpool 2.
Well, of course.
Deadpool 2 looks amazing. I'm excited to see Domino, the character, come to life. Venom. Venom is going to be pretty intense. They want to do, like, this is kind of intense, but X-Men Dark Phoenix, which everybody loves the Dark Phoenix, but last time they did the Dark Phoenix in X-Men 3, like in the early 2000s, they just botched it so bad. So I'm excited to see if they don't botch it, but I'm also like, I thought they did it too soon in the last X-Men, and they did three movies that literally went along the same timeline. So this is just like, oh, here's now we did Apocalypse.
Boy, I love technology. I really love technology. Oh.
We did Crazy Origins. I've been waiting. I wait when I hear the sound turn off. And then we did Crazy Logan stuff. I mean, we overused him as much as we possibly could. So yeah, what now? What's the next step? Oh, let's throw Dark Phoenix at him again. We're like, oh yeah, everybody loves that. It's like, I love that, but you gotta give me, first I gotta like the X-Men again. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. Everybody's, favorite Game of Thrones girl, or whatever her name is, not favorite, but Sophie Turner is Jean Grey.
Oh, man.
But yeah, and they also have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is an animated feature with, coming out, Shamik Moore is going to be the voice of, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting what his name is?
Miles Morales?
Thank you, yes. Yeah, they're introducing Miles Morales, which is cool.
Yay!
Always down for that. Now, this is not part of the Marvel Universe, but I thought it was worth mentioning. I don't know why it was in this section. I think this was just, like, upcoming superhero movies in general on Collider. But they announced a new Hellboy was coming out. And that's now right, David Harbour from Stranger Things, the sheriff, he's going to be playing the new Hellboy, which is kind of cool. I think he fits the role pretty well. And Guillermo del Toro is, like, it's going to be with his third film, so he's going to be part of it, it sounds like, which is pretty cool. He, just won Best Director. The New Mutants is coming out, and crazy, one of the Game of Thrones girls is in it, too. Maisie Williams, like the two sisters, the Stark sisters, have picked up being mutants.
Adorable.
I think that was the last. They talked about Gambit too, but I mean they've been talking about Gambit for so long. I almost don't even recognize it. Like, give me the actual actor and what's going on, and then we'll talk about Gambit.
Well, I think for a while I thought that they had who is it? Channing Tatum set up to play the role of Gambit. I remember that being a rumor for a while, but
they've been talking about that for like 3 years. So it's like they talk about a superhero movie, and in like 2 years, I feel like it's already made. So when it takes them this long, I don't know if I believe them.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out in the future. I'm trying to see if there's any other ones that got. Yep. Oh yeah, he is a part of it. At least in rumors right now, he's a part of the Gambit movie. The Channing Tatum. So that'll be interesting. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else here that was... Nope. Yep, a lot of these are just saying, untitled Marvel movies and blah, 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 blah. I mean, another one that's definitely going to be coming out probably within the next few years, guarantee it, would be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, because reasons, and because people want to see Atomic Atom. I can totally understand why. I mean, for the love of God, I literally watched my friend almost die in the theater because he only inhaled after hearing the final the lady basically say, "I think I'll call him Adam." He just keeps inhaling. I'm like, dude, Max, breathe, damn it! And he finally breathes like Atomic Atom, and I looked it up. And I'm like, I can see why you took your breath away. Okay, this will be a really good movie. Okay, that's, man, looking forward to seeing that. I thought, what was another one that was in here? They had, 2019, they're bringing back The Crow as a remake in October of next year.
I don't know if that's Marvel, but it is worth mentioning.
I mean, it's Sony, so I guess technically it is considered Marvel.
No, I'm serious. Like, I don't think The Crow is from Marvel Comics.
Oh, no. I definitely do not see The Crow.
I can look it up real quick. But I for some reason, I want to say it's Dark Horse, but
I think it might be. I'm trying to think of trying to get this name on here. Is it Alita Battle Angel? Any knowledge about that? Because I know that's coming out in December.
No.
No knowledge about that?
The Crow is from Caliber Comics.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only thing I've ever heard of Caliber. Probably a good thing, I just don't hear of them.
Right.
But yeah, Jason Momoa is supposed to be the Crow, so that'll be crazy.
Well, jeez. Jason Momoa, he's going to be a busy man doing not only DC stuff, but also The Crow, especially if it's going to be really good. It's going to be really interesting seeing him go from being this, I guess for the girls, hunk a chunk of man meat, and then just turning to like this depressed soul that just basically will make you think like, oh, life is not worth living anymore. Just no, stop talking. It's like, oh boy, Jason, you're going to be basically like a regular Two-Face, aren't you? Yeah, pretty much. Totally okay with that. Only one that's really titled is a movie called Silver and Black in next year. It's produced by Sony. I don't even know what that is. Is that a superhero movie, or is that just some random...
I have no idea. I haven't heard of that.
Maybe it's a... Oh, jeez. Well, now I'm kind of interested in what exactly that is, so I'm going to definitely be looking that up. And yes, we're doing this on the air because reasons. Yeah, Silver and Black movie. I mean, it sounds good. And if only I knew what the hell it was. So, okay, here we go. Silver and Black, 2019. Second film in Marvel. What does that mean?
So it is a Marvel movie?
It's, according to this, it is a Marvel movie. Let's see, the second film in Sony's Marvel Universe. Anything else besides that? Because Gina Price Brithwood will be the first African American woman to direct a studio producer. Okay.
It looks like
Jessica Drew.
It looks like Black Cat in someone. Silver and Black is one of Sony's Spider-Man universe spin-off featuring Black Cat and Silver Sable. Or Sable, sorry. And the film seems to have started moving forward with productions. So it's basically kind of like a Gotham City Sirens for
Marvel.
For Marvel, if you think about it, Spider-Man universe.
Yeah, and it seems like one rumor that's in there as well is that it seems like they mentioned Spider-Woman and Kraven the Hunter may be involved in this as well. Honest to God.
I mean, it sounds cool.
I would love to see Kraven the Hunter on a big screen. Are you kidding me? I remember watching him on the animated series, and it's like, okay, this guy is a pretty badass character. So hopefully get to see him. And I believe he was wasn't he a part of the Sinister Six, if I'm not mistaken?
I am not for sure. I'm not familiar with the Sinister Six or like Spider-Man like that.
Fair enough. I thought he was, but gosh,
I mean Black Cat is like, I feel like Black Cat and Catwoman are very similar in the fact, like, from DC to Marvel, I feel like their characteristics were very similar.
Okay.
They're both kind of sexy, anti-heroes.
Oh, that's right. Oh, man. I remember Black Cat.
I feel like maybe this is, and I'm glad Sony is doing it versus Disney Marvel, because I think Disney Marvel has missed some opportunities to make their superheroes a little more I mean, obviously they did some shirtless scenes and stuff, but I feel like, I don't know, for some reason I feel like they try to be super safe with all that. Let's not make them let's not make these guys sex symbols. Let's not make Black Widow a sex symbol. And you don't want them to be a sex symbol, but sometimes in the comic book world, they did make sex symbols. That is technically what Black Cat is, I feel. Let's make this sexy, crazy person. Oh, weird. Her name is Black Cat. It's not Catwoman, though. She's different. She has white hair. Crazy. You're like, yeah, but she's a thief. She does all these crazy flips and shit and has the tight leather. And it's dominatrix type of thing. And that's kind of what you get from Catwoman, too. The tight leather whip,
Yeah, but white hair.
Sex symbol. I don't know what they want those things.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to definitely post this up in an interview. When you mentioned sex symbols, that reminded me of what was it? I think Carrie Fisher talking to Daisy Ridley in an interview, basically about how back in the day she was basically a sex symbol, and she was saying, "Be warned, you might be that next sex symbol." And I'll definitely tag you in it so you can kind of take a look at it, and I'll post it up on our Facebook fan page. Don't worry about that, because she was Rey in Star Wars.
Yeah, she's definitely not a sex symbol.
Well, you got it. I think that she's still at the point where she's still young and innocent. I think you can make the same deal with Carrie Fisher. First two Star Wars movies, it was just she's kind of nice and blah, blah. And then, of course, one slave costume later, and it's oh, dudes go crazy.
In that white costume, I don't know if she was wearing a bra in that white costume. I'm pretty sure that's when we got introduced to Leia.
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think Disney wants to make sex symbols, and I think that's a good thing. I'm just saying some characters in comics were actually made to be that.
Right.
So, if you made the character to be that, and then you try to if they make Black Cat and all of a sudden she's in just the Black Widow suit, which is a full cover, I think people will be disappointed. What the hell? This girl's supposed to be the sexy, using what she's got to her advantage. And in all honesty, I do think Black Widow kind of used to be that too. She was a little bit more tough. I mean, a little bit more Russian, kick-ass kid. But at the same time, she definitely... I kind of saw her as a sex symbol in the comics. So I'm like, oh, she's not bad. I think that's a good thing. Well, she is the only woman there. But
well, I think that one thing that might give Disney hope about that is probably the fact that DC, I think, found the correct formula when it came to, making a woman not seem, too over-sexualized, but also not too weak, really. And I think that, when they did Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot, she was one of those women that I looked at where it's just yeah, she can definitely be, sexy at some points, but you remember her more for, just the action sequences that, she did during that movie. And, is Gal Gadot probably a sex symbol in our generation? Maybe. I'm not one to say. Is she, in my opinion? I don't think so. I think she's one of those ladies that, she's gorgeous, she's young, and she definitely knows how to, take a beating and dish it back. So I think that maybe they're going to be using that, try and use that same formula where it's like, we're not going to make it too sexy. We want to make them more kick-ass. I think more people will appreciate that, and maybe that's what they're coming off of. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Well, I don't know where were you going? Like, who are you talking about in the Marvel universe?
Well,
I'm
I'm just saying with Marvel's, women in general, really. Because you mentioned, how Disney likes to try and play safe with some of their characters, especially with Marvel, where, they seem to be more prone to, make women more, sexy and more action hero based. I think that they might try to use the standard that, DC did for Wonder Woman, where it was like, yeah, she's a little bit sexy, but she definitely kicks a lot of ass. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully I'm not confusing people too much.
I don't know if, I want to clear this up, because I don't know if this is clear. I'm literally talking about making superheroes sexy that are sex symbols. So, if a superhero is not a sex symbol, aka Wonder Woman, she better not be turned into one. I would kill someone if they tried to turn Wonder Woman into a sex symbol. But when we do the flip side, like I was talking about Black Cat, who is 110% a sex symbol in Marvel. Like, you see, if you go to a Comic-Con and someone is Black Cat, I instantly am like, that girl is, well, she's definitely Black Cat, if you know what I mean. She's got it all out there. And vice versa with Catwoman, same thing. She's a villainous person, and Poison Ivy, that uses their sexiness to their advantage. So they are technically a sex symbol in the DC universe. But what I was talking about in Disney, like, that's why I'm like, well, I'm kind of glad Sony took this on, because I don't think Disney would feel comfortable doing that at all. And I don't like when people change the superhero's identity and what they're supposed to be and kind of who they are. And I think it's totally fine if some people use their sex to their advantage. Like, do it. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. If that's how they get stuff done, that's how they get stuff done. Black Widow, I thought of her as a sex symbol, but they changed her into this, empowering good woman, and I think that's great. And I think it's awesome because they didn't introduce any other women throughout almost their whole time to being someone who could be super powerful. Gamora is kind of powerful up there, but, she's not really the forefront of Marvel. Like, she's hardly the forefront of the movies that she's in, which is totally fine. That's why Wonder Woman was such a cool, big deal for everyone. They're like, oh my gosh, this was great. So excited to see such a big, powerful superhero woman who is so empowering. But yeah, so I wasn't saying sexualize women, period. Because no. I was saying that you stay true. I like when people stay true to what the superhero is supposed to be. Superhero or supervillain, in this case. I don't even want to call her a supervillain, but a villain, Black Cat. Like, that's what I was saying. And that I didn't think that Disney would feel as comfortable doing that as Sony did, which Sony does. I mean, Sony's brought us Deadpool. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, they feel comfortable pushing their superheroes over the edge, like in Logan and all these different ones that have been kind of like, this doesn't seem like a superhero movie. That's what I was saying. I was not saying just sexualize people. So I just wanted to put that out there. Like, that is not what I was saying. I was saying stay true to what the character is.
Hey, point clear. I totally get it. Hopefully everybody at home listening into this is, understanding of that. But, you can explain as much as you want. Sometimes people are just going to say, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it's like, why do I even bother talking? Why do I even bother talking if you're still going to get that across your head?
Right there is like, oh, you didn't listen.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to wrap up this edition for the Game Changer, where we talk about Marvel, DC movies. Definitely a lot to expect. I think that they actually said that as time's going by, that the movies are just getting more and more release dates as the years are going by. I think that this year Marvel has 6, maybe. I think, see, Black Panther, Infinity War, roughly about 6. And I think that they said by the time it reaches 2020, if I'm not mistaken, they'll probably have 9 releases in that year. So a lot of people, we're going to be in for a wild ride over the next few years. Marvel is going to definitely take us on some crazy rides. And DC, they still got a lot to make up for, and they got a lot of ground to cover, and they got a lot of people that they got to really start, building up in order to get these, great movies going on. I mean, hey, you got a Nightwing, get him on the screen. You got, Supergirl, get her on the screen. Do you have somebody in mind for Black Cat? Not Black Cat, Catwoman. Definitely get her on the screen. For the love of God, give us Poison Ivy. That is the one woman I really want to see from the DC regime. I want them to bring a Poison Ivy back to the screen. If I see that, it's like, I'm fine. DC, no more complaints. As long as she's good. Oh, she's good. Okay, yep. I'm done complaining. I will watch every single movie that you have put out for me. All right. So, with that being said, it's time for the part of the show where we do nothing but cheap plugs, because why not? So, Victory Bell, do you have anything big coming up this weekend or the next couple weekends that you like to plug?
We have a costuming event tomorrow morning at 115 Bourbon Street in Chicago, the Chicagoland area, which you might catch us on WGN, because WGN is covering that, which is a news organization here in Chicago. I have just a few private events that I'm going to be taking part in, but all in all, I guess my next big, and hopefully they kind of last, comic conventions are going to be Indiana Comic-Con and C2E2. So those are coming up end of March, beginning of April. And yeah, those are about it. I don't have anything planned for the rest of the summer. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, jeez. Yep, C2E2 coming up, you guys, is going to be absolutely amazing. That's also the weekend of WrestleMania, so definitely expect me to be very busy for that weekend. Because, holy cow, going down to Chicago, seeing C2E2, possibly getting a picture with Drax Batista would be awesome. That'd be an ultimate payoff. But I'll probably be busy doing a lot of other things coming up. Yeah, but it's going to be an awesome next few weeks, so definitely tune in. Be sure to follow Victory Bell on her Twitter, as well as check her out on Facebook.com/VictoriBelleCosplay. Give us a like on our Facebook fan page, Facebook.com/changing up the game, and myself at Real Effin' Game. And thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you guys so much for all of the views that you give us, the support that you gave us. And I say that especially now because I've just reached 1,500 followers on Twitter. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. So with that being said, expect a fun little video to be probably done. I will try to do it next week. I know that this week it's going to be absolutely crazy for me because I'll be going to movies every single day for the next 5 days except for Tuesday, I believe. I think Tuesday is like my only day where I can just be like, rest. But then it's like, oh wait, I work both my jobs those days. That's right. Oh boy. But yep, there's going to be a lot coming up. I'll be doing some reviews on these movies within the next couple of days, so be sure to follow me on Facebook, find out more. And I'm just going to stop rambling on. Let's cut the show down. Let's end it right now. Thank you guys for joining us here at The Game Changer, and we will talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.